This is part 2 of my Monport laser video series. In this video I'll show you how I fixed my USB connection problems. I'll show you what these mysterious switches do, and I'll show you how to focus your laser. Hi and welcome, I'm Andreas. Part 1 of this series ended with me having trouble connecting my MacBook here with my laser. And since then I learned a lot about USB cables, and well, if you're interested, I'll explain. When I got the laser, it included this USB cable, and it has USB-A on both ends. My MacBook, however, only has USB-C ports. So I thought, well, before using such a clunky adapter, which I own, but which makes the plug a little bit longer and therefore a bit clunkier when it's attached to the MacBook, I thought, well, I might get myself a proper USB-C to USB-A connection cable. I got one. I didn't get a cheap one. It even says high-speed intelligent data line, so I thought, well, that should be it. And I used this. And not knowing that there are different kinds of USB cables, I thought that should be fine. When I had trouble connecting, I looked for all kinds of errors, but the least thing I thought of was that it might be the USB cable. So I got in touch with Monport support, and it turns out that there are actually a lot of different types of USB cables. They all look the same, except of course for the jacks and the plugs, but you can't really tell very easily if a cable is suitable for such connection. So what I learned is that if I use this one, it works just fine. And one crucial point is how the wiring is done internally, which you can't see on the outside. And that these bits here that I thought are just to keep a cable from slipping under the desk, they are actually good for something. They are ferrite, and they improve the signal going through the cable. So I couldn't find a USB-C to USB-A cable with these ferrite pieces here at the ends. So I ended up using the original cable with my adapter, and now I got everything hooked up and everything works. So if you ever wonder what kind of USB cable to get, don't just buy some cable and hope for the best, but actually get into it a little bit. I put a link in the description where you can learn a little bit more about USB cables and the different types there are. But I took away the message that really sometimes it's just try and error. So the second part I had trouble with was these three switches, because they are not mentioned in my manual. To be honest, I don't understand why they're not, because they turn out to be absolutely crucial to operating the laser. So that's actually one downside that I have with this Monport laser overall, that the manual is not very clear. It is not very, well, it is long, but it doesn't go into the things that I would need to know. You have to know I'm not an expert at industrial lasers. I've used my X-Tool laser before, but that's a consumer product, and that was fairly easy to use. This one is a whole different beast, and maybe someone who usually uses such a laser knows a lot more about it, but me being a fairly unfamiliar user, well, I had some trouble. So let me explain what these switches do. The leftmost one, this is the power supply for the laser. So this has to be switched on so that the laser tube actually got power. The second one here with the key, that's simply a safety switch, obviously with the key. So if you remove the key, nobody can switch on the laser. And the switch on the right, which is labeled control switch, that has to be pressed whenever an event occurs. So either the laser switches off for safety reasons, for example because it detects a flame or whatever, or somebody opens the lid, then the operation stops, the red light turns on, and for it to continue you have to press the control switch. So fairly simple, but if you don't know, then it's hard. And now it turns out there was another reason why I couldn't figure it out, because these buttons seemed not to work reliably. And that was for a whole different reason that I found out only later, because here in the lid there are these safety switches, and one of them was broken, but not completely broken. Sometimes it triggered, sometimes it didn't. So when I hit these switches and nothing happened, it was actually because that control switch was interfering and basically telling the machine that the lid was open when it wasn't. So this random behavior made it obviously completely unpredictable to me, hitting the switches that sometimes it would actually go into operation and sometimes it wouldn't. I thought I didn't understand the switches, but in fact it was this random operating control switch that got in the way. So I had a great experience with Monport support, made a video of the error and my using it, and I sent it to them, uploaded it to Google Drive, that's how they do it. And then they told me what was wrong. They sent me a replacement part. It was fairly easy to switch the two switches. And now I've got a working switch, and since then everything has been working smoothly and the machine actually works reliably in this respect. So, step 3, how to focus your laser. There's actually an autofocus function which I'll show you how to use in a second, but that doesn't work for me. It always focuses on the wrong height. I don't know why. I got in touch with Monport support. They got me an instruction of how to adjust that in Lightburn, but it doesn't work for me. I adjusted it. I'm pretty sure I did everything right, but it still focuses on the right height. First, I'll show you how to use autofocus. Then I'll show you how to use the manual focus. I'll just go and get the camera and show you the control panel. So this is the control panel. We hit this button for the menu, and then the arrow keys down until we're at autofocus. Then we hit enter, and now the laser focuses, touches, and moves down again. And supposedly this should be the correct height, but it isn't. So what we do instead, again, we hit this button to get to the menu, and then we're at Z move, that's correct. We hit enter, and now we're in Z move mode. With these two arrows, we can control the height of the bed, right? So when I press this one, it goes down. When I press this one, it goes up. And then I press it so that there's a big gap between the workpiece and the laser head. And I hold the focus tool under the laser, and then I slowly bring the bed up until the focus tool is a bit squeezed in, and then I go just a hair back, right? So there shouldn't be a gap, and now when this just slips under, then we're at the right height. So there you go. 3 steps further on the way to actually producing something on my new laser. In the next part we're actually going to make something, my first piece, and I hope you got something useful out of this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.